Hi guys, I'm Jamie Francis and welcome to my channel. Here is a quick tutorial on how to make a post-production dolly. So this is the shot we'll be making. It's nothing that fancy, it's just me with some coffee. But as you can see, it's got this kind of extreme sort of push, dolly push to the side, sort of like a slider. This is a really simple technique. And what we're doing today is just a really simple concept that you could utilize and go way more extreme with. But right now, I'm just going to give you sort of the basics of this. So let's start over. We're going to use this shot of me. And as you can see, this is the original shot. It's me. It's a completely static shot, like a tripod shot like this, where there's no camera movement, which actually works really good for if you're you got no cameraman and you just want to shoot yourself. Because I got no friends, so I'm just shooting myself. What I'm going to do, I've just got this whole clip here, it's about a minute long. I'm just going to take the end, because I know this is kind of where I kind of come in. So I'm just going to cut it there. I'm just sliding this over. I'm going to slide the timeline over and right click, trim comp to work area, and there it is. So we got the shot here. And what we're simply gonna do is now create, sort of, if you have any kind of familiarity with Photoshop, is create a bunch of layers with this image. So what we're gonna do is take one, I'm gonna crop the left wall here out. So I'm just going to quickly make a mask. So I'm taking the pen tool, or G, type in G on your keyboard, and I'm just going to quickly make a quick mask on this wall. And there we have the left wall. One thing I should have done before is set this to a 3D layer. So I'm going to click the little 3D box here in the far right of the little, whatever these are, effects. And now we got a left wall. I'm going to actually press enter and name this left wall just for simplicity. And I'm going to duplicate this because we're going to keep the other stuff too. This is just going to be on its own layer. So I'm going to Control D for duplicating. And I'm going to name this couch, the couch on the right. If you saw that originally, I'm going to go into this couch layer and delete the first mask because we want the couch. So now I'm going to take this layer, again, go get the pen tool, just quickly make a mask around this couch. I'm just sort of taking things that are kind of the closer to the camera, more in the foreground. And again, I'm doing this really quickly just for the idea. So there's the couch, and that's the 3D layer as well. I'm going to duplicate the couch again to get that full shot again. I'm going to delete the mask. And then we have the full shot, full clip or something. So I'm going to name it full clip. So that's sort of like your base shot, base plane, I guess, horizontal plane. And I'm actually going to take that and put it to the bottom. I'm going to drag that clip, that layer, and put that on the bottom layer. And I'm going to keep the left couch and the couch there. So now we have 3 layers, are all in 3D space, but they're just sort of sitting there and they're all in the same. As if you play it, nothing's going to change. What we're going to have to do is get the left wall and the couch. This is what we'll do in this clip. And we're going to push them towards the camera, or towards the camera. So in 3D space, if that makes any sense. If you go to click off active camera and go to the top, you'll see the layers here. And this is your couch. If you click on the couch layer, it'll bring up and highlight it right here. So, and that's sort of the top of the couch. So what we're going to do is just push this forward, kind of towards the camera, which is down here. On the left wall, we're going to do the same thing. And then if you click off the top view, you can go back to active camera, you'll see that they've been moved. They're a little bit closer. See, if you turn off the left wall, that's the left wall layer now is like more closer to the camera based on its original shot. And the same with the couch. And what we're going to do is because to show this shot off a little bit more, is I'm going to push these really close to the camera so you really see the difference. So I'm actually just going to play with this left wall a bit, and I'm going to go to transform, and I'm going to push this even more close to the camera, or you can pull it with the blue Z axis, and move this kind of in the shot more, so it kind of takes up more space. I'm actually going to do more than that. I'm just pushing it, and I'm not pushing this like around. I'm actually moving it in the 3D space, and that's only because it's a 3D shot now. All the layers are 3D layers. Hopefully that's clear. And I'm going to do the same with the couch. I'm going to push this kind of way close to the camera, and kind of covering up the camera or the couch and the wall that are on the regular full clip shot, if you know what I mean. Try to cover those up so you don't have to go in and like cut that out. But if you really want to get detailed, you can take the full clip shot, cut out the mask out the old, like the wall that you're not going to see in the shot, and the couch, and kind of, you know, do whatever you want with that. This is just totally simple, trying to make it as simple as possible. So now the couch and the wall are sort of like blocking me, if you can see, compared to the original shot where it had a lot of space. So now this is where the real magic of the Dolly comes in. You need the camera. So let's stick in a camera. We'll go to New Camera, right click New Camera, or what's another one? Layer New Camera, or Control Alt Shift C. So New Camera, and I'm going to set it at, say, 24mm camera. It's kind of arbitrary. You can do whatever you want with that. So now we have that camera in there. So we're going to open the camera settings. We're going to keep the camera options the same. I mean, you can work with like depth of field and stuff, but for now I'm just going to be using position and sort of the position of interest, a little bit of the X, Y, Z, but mostly just the point of interest and the position, just to kind of get that what the Dolly shot is going to look like in the end. So the first, I've set 2 keyframes for those point of interest and position, and I'm going to push this as far kind of off frame as possible to start. So I'm just going to be, I don't know how to work these like really precise, so I have to just sort of noodle around. So just bear with me. I'm kind of shifting this over. I'm going to try to make this as extreme as possible, just to show off the effect. The dollies are, I don't know, I really like really slow creep dollies where it just kind of, I always say dolly. I think of this as more of kind of like a dolly slide, like I don't know, from left to right, less in. And then so that's my first keyframe, and then I'm gonna go all the way sort of close to the end of the shot. Click the keyframe tool, click each keyframe, and then I'm going to change it to reveal me here. Again, I'm just sort of noodling here, seeing exactly sort of what I want. It's a little extreme because it's kind of pulling, the whole frame is coming out. And if you can see here, the left wall is actually kind of, the old left wall is still there. So I'm gonna actually move that even closer. And my head is sort of getting cut off, so I'm gonna, actually I think my head does get cut off. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. But ideally you want your face in the shot if that's what you're going for. But make it a little less scary for you, I'll cut my head off. And there's actually a little technique here to kind of make the dolly sort of smooth into that end shot. Is right click, select the keyframes, right click keyframe assistant, and click ease. So this one turned out a little bit different than my final shot of last time, but I actually kind of like it. It's a little bit more creepy. But that's basically the technique. I know all you guys could do way better than this. This is just sort of like an idea I had. I mean, it went from a complete static shot to looking like, you know, I'm getting followed or something, which is, you know, really adds that dynamic. You know, it's just definitely way more dynamic than just a static shot. I mean, depending on what it is, but, you know, if you're going for that creepy kind of dolly and you don't have like another camera guy, if it's just you, these kind of techniques are just awesome and really can really, you know, enhance your shots without necessarily even having a cameraman. So I hope this helped out. I'm trying to keep this as quick as possible, and thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell now. I think that's a new thing where you want to be notified, right? So I'm going to be trying to do a lot more of these. So if you have any suggestions sort of like this, like After Effects, Adobe, Premiere and After Effects are sort of like my go-tos, but I noodle with other stuff too, and camera stuff, and you know, my thing that I do a lot is I really just like to experiment, stuff like this. Like, I would never know how to do this unless I just tried doing it. So if you ever have you know, if there's one thing, piece of advice that I'd give you is just try it. Just give something a whirl, and stuff like this is, you can just figure out sort of on your own. Like, I think a lot of people do get a little worried about like failing or like making a mistake. Well, that's how you learn how to do stuff. So make a ton of mistakes. Just try not doing the same mistake over and over. You just kind of learn from each one and get better. So anyway, that's just my little outro. So I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching.